In this section, we will be discussing the Nomad's basic functions, which include loading and unloading glass, assembling and disassembling the Nomad. The process for loading glass onto a truck, glass dolly or cutting table is the same. In this scenario, these operators will be loading a large plate of glass onto the side of a glass truck. If the Nomad needs to travel over inclined ground, always move the Nomad with the glass on the higher side. Both operators will move the Nomad with the glass to the truck, square on, leaving about an 8 to 12 inch or 30 centimetre clearance from the A-frame ledge. The sliding headlocks are released. The glass needs to be raised sufficiently so that the lower glass supports can be flipped backward by foot. Together, both operators will move the Nomad forward until the glass is sitting above the ledge of the A-frame truck. As the glass is lowered onto the ledge of the truck, the operators will notice that the Nomad moves backwards slightly, which is a sign that the glass is ready to be tilted forward onto the truck. The rear caster brakes need to be locked. Both operators need to release the lower vacuum cups and then with one hand on the glass release the top vacuum cup with the other hand and push the glass away until it is resting on the truck. After moving the Nomad away, secure the glass by attaching the truck clamps as soon as possible to prevent the glass falling off the truck. Disassembling the Nomad is best performed when the Nomad is still attached to the glass. Make sure the front caster brakes are locked. Lower the top extension arms and flip the top extension wheels backwards. Remove the safety pins and release the locking clamp on each of the cross braces. Initially, release the diagonal brace clamp and lock it into its home position on the right-hand frame of the Nomad. The lower brace clamp needs to be released and the brace also locked into its home position on the left side. And finally, the top brace clamp and brace can be released and locked into its home position on the lower right-hand side as seen here. Now, both operators can release the vacuum cups and each of the Nomad frames can be wheeled away to be loaded and secured on the truck. Once at the site, the Nomad can be reassembled. 1 or 2 people can be used to assemble the Nomad. Ensuring that the glass is clean and the top extension wheel is flipped backwards, move the Nomad about 8 inches or 20 centimetres from the edge of the truck. Position each of the Nomad frames so they are about 6 to 7 feet or 2 meters apart, and there is approximately an equal amount of glass on the outside of each frame. Each operator will need to lock the front casters. The Nomad frames can now be tilted forward so that both vacuum lifters are flush on the glass to create a seal. The vacuum cup plungers can now be pumped until the Nomad frames are secured to the glass. The easiest way of attaching the vacuum lifters to the glass is by applying direct pressure with one hand on the vacuum lifter handle whilst pumping the plunger with the other hand. Do not strike the plunger as this may damage the internal seals, causing the vacuum lifters to leak. Unlock all 3 brace clamps and then attach them to the opposite frame as seen here. Once the braces have been attached, all 3 brace clamps need to be firmly locked and the safety pins inserted. If the brace clamps are not firmly secured and the safety pins are not inserted, the Nomad may tilt sideways while transporting glass. Once assembled, the Nomad can now unload glass off the truck. The operators will flip the top extension wheels forward, and together both operators, using the winch handles, need to raise the glass slightly off the A-frame ledge so that the glass is clear of the rubber U-channels. This will serve to test the caster brakes, protect the lower edge of the glass from shelling and release the seal between 2 sheets of glass. Once the glass is clear, each operator places 1 foot on the foot peg and together the operators will slowly tilt the glass backwards until the Nomad is on 4 wheels. If you're unloading a tall sheet of glass, you should extend the top extension wheel to reduce the chance of glass breakage while unloading the glass. Raise the glass sufficiently so that the lower glass supports can be swung forwards. Lower the glass until it's about ½ an inch or a centimetre above the lower glass support. Tightening the hand knobs on the sliding head offers extra security when transporting the glass. Regularly check all vacuum lifters to make sure that the glass is secure for transport. The front caster brakes can be released and the glass can now be moved. In this section, we'll discuss how to install glass into a window frame using the Nomad and the glazing guides. When attaching the glazing guides, it's imperative that the frame be clean and the guides be positioned inside the window frame channel as seen here. Ensure that the screws in the window frame channel have been adequately recessed and determine which side of the frame has the deeper channel, for this is the side that you will be installing the glass into first. The Nomad should be positioned so that the side of the glass that needs to be glazed first should be closer to the window frame. In this case, the glass will be installed into the left side. Once the glazing guides are in position, move the Nomad with the glass to the window frame and lock the front casters. The top extension wheels need to be flipped forward and the vacuum lifters are securely attached to the glass. Wind the glass up to the height of the lower edge of the window frame. The side adjuster needs to be wound open about ½ an inch or 10 mm in preparation for installing the glass. The lower glass supports can now be flipped backwards by foot. With the glass square with the frame, the Nomad can be tilted forward on its front casters until the glass is vertical. The operator on the left side is placing his right knee behind the foot peg while at the same time using his left foot to unlock the front caster. Now he will use his right knee to move the glass forward into the window frame until the glass is resting against the glazing guides. Once the glass is resting against the glazing guides, the operator on the left will need to relock the front caster brake. Here, the operator on the left will be turning the side adjuster, which will allow the glass to move sideways to the left until the glass is moved as far as possible into the channel. Once the left side of the glass has been installed, the operator on the right can now move the glass forward until the glass is resting against the glazing guides. Both operators will now raise the glass together so that the glass moves up into the top window frame channel. Now the glass can be moved sideways into the right channel by using the side adjuster as seen here. Once the glass has been adjusted sideways, the operator on the right will relock the front caster brake. Once the glass is securely positioned in the top and side channels, both operators will need to insert the rubber blocks between the lower edge of the glass and the window frame. Together, both operators will slowly lower the glass onto the rubber blocks and ensure that the glass is secured in position before removing the Nomad. The Nomad can now be removed by releasing the valves on the vacuum lifters, and then the beading can be installed. Once the beading is in place, the glazing guides can be removed and the glazing completed.